There's just a flash of light down there. What was that? Oh, there it is again. Oh my god! What the f was that?
We heard a noise, and Yeti starts growling.
Leave now!
What the heck was that?
For decades, people have reported terrifying encounters linked to Bigfoot. In this video, mysterious sounds answer back from deep in the forest, while something unseen suddenly attacks a camper's tent in the dead of night. Is Bigfoot really out there? On November 8th, 2024, the YouTube channel Exploring with Angelo, recognized for documenting remote adventures and unusual experiences, returned to the wilderness near Harrison Hot Springs in British Columbia. This time, Angelo was not by himself. Kimberly joined him as they traveled into an area often connected to Bigfoot reports. At first, it seemed like a normal overnight camping trip in a place he already knew. But as the trip continued, things gradually started feeling harder to understand.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new adventure. Old place. Probably the most famous hotspot in the entire country of Canada for Sasquatch. I have somebody with me. You will see her later on. Hopefully she gets comfortable being on camera. Let's go past that. So basically, Harrison Hot Springs. So, Kimberly, tell the good people, you've been here before. Mm-hmm. When was the last time you were here? You came a month ago? Yeah. And? Nothing? Is that you came just to hang out or like actually look? He'll show up. Exactly. Or she. You can't. It's 2024, but alright. I was looking for the statue. I remember where the heck it was.
Angelo returns to Harrison Hot Springs, a place many people associate with past Bigfoot encounters and unexplained stories. Kimberly is with him, making this different from his usual solo explorations. At the start, everything feels peaceful. Snow covers the ground, and the lake sits still and silent in the cold air.
What was it, October 25th?
Yeah.
So there's a lady who came through this area. She was from Langley, and apparently she came into this area. Apparently she went to Hicks Lake at one point, and then they found her car somewhere, or her minivan, and she has not been seen since. And I don't think, like, she was, 82 years old? Like, who knows what happened to her? Did they say, like, did she have, like, Alzheimer's or something? So strange. Like, how does somebody just... Their car gets found, but the person's not there. Now, we got, like, two things to kind of look out for. A possible missing 82-year-old woman, Bigfoot, and Sasquatch. So that's her van. What the hell? She's, like, off the road, kind of, right?
Yeah.
So there is a lady out here somewhere. We don't know if she's in this area, but somehow she ended up near here at one point, Forest Service Road. Nobody knows what happened to her.
As they move farther into the area, Angelo mentions a recent case. An 82-year-old woman disappeared here. Her vehicle was discovered, but she was never found. Hearing this shifts the mood. The place no longer feels simply quiet. It begins to feel uncertain.
Alright, well, it was worth a shot, I guess. So we can't go up there? Because I thought I heard something from back there. Okay, well, I'm going to bring the drone back in the meanwhile. And it's going to take a moment to come back down here, because apparently I decided to fly over 300 meters up. There's something like around the drone. I didn't bring it all the way down yet. That beeping, that's like something going near it. Hey, Mr. Bird, do not attack my drone. Like, there's actually like something like around the drone. Like, I'm not near any of the trees.
They continue driving deeper into isolated areas after finding several roads blocked. Angelo launches a drone to inspect the surroundings. During the flight, the drone repeatedly gives warning signals, almost as if something is interfering with it. But after checking the footage, nothing unusual can clearly be seen.
So what I was trying to find was there was a road up there, and I remember when I went back, what the hell was that? There was just a flash of light down there. What was that? Oh, there it is again. It's like on the other side of the lake. There it is again. I'm not really sure what to make of that. Is that like a SOS or something? Yeah, I was gonna say, we were looking for like this one road, and I remember I went up it last time, and that was a spot where the guy, he told me his brother saw what he thinks was a Bigfoot. So I kind of wanted to go back in there. So we're going to try and figure it out on the way back out. And then I think we'll go and stop at that. I don't know what's over there. Maybe I'll ask Kimberly and see what she says. Just as soon as I can find her. Oh, you're over there. Hey, come check this out. A random light across the lake that's flashing. I don't know what it is. Huh. See, the problem is when you're driving up the road, it's very dense. It doesn't look like a boat. No, it's actually on land. I don't know what to make of that. It could just be nothing, or maybe somebody's SOSing us. Look, there's like a light flashing on the other side. I'm trying to figure out if it's like an SOS or... I know the light's a little bit bright, but... Do you see that? Right there. Is there like a road there? Not sure.
I have no idea. I haven't been over there.
Yeah. I don't know, it just seems kind of like it's flashing faster. Now it stopped, but it was flashing faster.
Later, they stop near a lake as darkness begins setting in. Across the water, they notice a flashing light. It does not seem random. The pattern looks steady. Angelo and Kimberly begin wondering if it could be some kind of signal, maybe someone trying to get attention or call for help.
So I do think the area itself is actually haunted as well. And might as well run a spirit box just for like a couple minutes. Let's try the necrometer. We've been getting some really interesting stuff on there. So last time we were getting some weird stuff, and I'm trying to figure out if it was paranormal or like actually Bigfoot. It just sounded like something was moving through there, and it sounded kind of big. There are bears. I probably should have my gun with me just in case, but... Okay, I just heard a moan again. What the f was that? Kind of sounded like it came from this way. Hello? Damn, it's getting so cold out here. Are we even getting anything on here? Oh, we are. Does that say? Wide, warning, danger, and pretentious. Well, what is the warning of danger? Why am I being warned? I wonder though, is it like a warning from like some native spirit? Are you from a long time ago? The volume is off. I don't know why. Now I got kettle. I got into pieces? What the fuck?
Reverberation of time.
Reverberation of time. So this was native land. I mean, if anybody's gonna know what's out here, it would be, you know, the
19.
natives. Considering Bigfoot is
Unthinkable.
a native. What's unthinkable?
Bunny bear.
Bunny man? I don't know what that is. That's a weird one. Standing? What's standing? I don't know why, but I get the feeling like there's something out in this direction.
As night arrives, they move into a darker section of the forest. Angelo switches on a spirit box device. Words begin coming through, including danger and standing. Even though the device is not always dependable, hearing those words at that moment makes the situation feel more intense.
I keep hearing like a moan. I don't know what that is. Oh my god. What the f was that? What the f was that? Did you hear that? Oh, that startled me. Something like stomped like towards me.
Not long after a loud sound suddenly breaks the silence from nearby trees. It sounds like something heavy moving around, or making a deep noise. Angelo reacts immediately and tries locating where it came from, but the darkness makes it impossible to see anything.
What the f? Let's see if we hear it again. Yeah. So something just like, almost like screamed essentially.
Where did it come from?
So we just heard something that sounded like... That I think was a bird.
Don't ever make that noise again.
That's more or less like what it sounded like, right? I don't know, that was fucking loud.
That
though.
was weird.
And it was really close too. It was literally like there's a tree
Right over there.
line. So you guys see what I'm talking about. So just like back there is where we heard it from. It sounded like something called out over there, and then something responded on the other side.
After finding nothing, they head to their campsite and start a fire to stay warm. While sitting there, a sharp call suddenly echoes through the forest. A few seconds later, another sound comes from another direction. The timing makes it feel like something is responding, not just random noise. With almost no visibility and the temperature dropping, Angelo and Kimberly decide to leave. Some viewers believe the sounds could have been normal wildlife from the area. Others notice how the timing and direction seem unusual. If those sounds were truly responses, then what was actually out there that night? The next footage comes from Mandog Wild, a UK-based bushcraft and wilderness survival channel. The channel focuses on solo camping trips in remote forests and mountain areas featuring tarp shelters, off-grid overnights, and real-time outdoor survival, always alongside the creator's dog. The date is December 3rd, 2024, somewhere deep in a remote wilderness region.
Camp tonight, but it's not lightweight because of all the water and dog food and the sleep system we're using tonight. It's just, there's no point in laying it out this early. We don't want that, so it's coffee time.
Getting to camp was not easy. The backpack was heavy packed with water and extra supplies for the dog, and the added weight made every step harder before camp was even prepared. After checking the area, he picked a spot on an open overlook with a clear view of the forest and mountain range stretching ahead. It was not the most protected place to sleep, but it gave him visibility in every direction. The sleeping area was completely exposed, with almost nothing separating it from the surrounding terrain. For a while, everything stayed quiet. Then a sound came from the hillside. The dog noticed it first. She immediately froze, focused on something just beyond the edge of camp, and stayed completely still. That was the first clear sign something felt wrong.
It's up there. Yeti. Oh, good. Oh, she's disappeared now. Cool. So we heard a noise, and Yeti starts growling. And there was some eye shine at the top of the hill looking down at us.
A short time later, possible eyeshine appeared on the higher ground above. No shape, no clear movement. Just a faint reflection in the distance, visible only long enough to notice before disappearing. Then the dog reacted in an unusual way. Instead of moving toward whatever was there, she slowly backed away. That was not normal. Dogs do not usually retreat from something they are simply curious about. It looked more like she wanted distance from it.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was DC, because she knows this area pretty well now. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. But and Yeti's taken off, so maybe it is DC. But I think she would have approached. Maybe it was a fox. Don't see too many foxes there.
More sounds followed from somewhere across the hillside. Brush shifted. Something cracked underfoot. Soft movement continued through the darkness. Nothing ever came into view, but the noises kept happening enough to suggest something was still there, still moving through the trees. What stands out here is not one single moment. It is how the signs build up sound first, then the dog's reaction, then possible eye shine, then more movement. Animals do not usually avoid something they are only curious about. Whatever was on that hillside, it made the dog choose distance instead. What do you think was watching them from up there? A trail camera had been set up in a remote area of the forest to capture footage of local wildlife. While going through the recording, the owner noticed a deer calmly walking in front of the camera. But it was not by itself. Behind it, a tall, hairy figure stood upright, remaining nearly still for several moments. The figure moved slightly, just enough to show that it was alive. In the background, there also appeared to be a structure made of branches, arranged intentionally resembling a simple shelter. What do you think this camera may have actually captured? The YouTube channel NVTV is known for its fearless wilderness explorations. Recently, the creator returned to a specific place in British Columbia he had visited earlier in the spring. Back then, deer quietly moved behind him without him noticing at all. Now covered in snow and freezing temperatures, the valley carried a completely different atmosphere, hiding secrets only the wilderness could reveal. He began listening to the forest in a different way, focusing on things beyond ordinary animal sounds.
And there's even one spot, I videotaped it all, there's a spot where a handful of these trees were just, boom, thrown down in one stack 2-3 times. So the top was snapped off, but it was left by a thread of bark and it was hanging. The top was snapped completely off and gone. And then another chunk of about 3 or 4 feet of it was broken off again. And then the base of it was mulched, like psh, psh, psh. It wasn't broken clean enough for it to lay down. It was still standing. I was almost tempted to cut that off if I had a handsaw. And the strength it took to snap these trees off, a human being couldn't have done it.
He picked up rare, sudden noises suggesting hidden movement. Every sound in the woods pulled him farther in, where normal things quickly become unbelievable. A trail camera sat high in a tree untouched until the forest suddenly came alive.
Remember this spot? I was in this spot early. I was standing stump back there behind me about 25 yards, and those deer got up and were walking around directly behind me. I didn't have a clue they were there. I'm back home. I am somewhere between Squamish and Parliament in British Columbia.
Loud, forceful impacts slammed against the timber, carrying way too much power for any person to make. The air was completely still, yet every strike echoed with a heavy, unseen, and deliberate force. Something moved through the clearing with unusual strength. Thin trees were snapped clean at chest level, showing no signs of claws, teeth, or antlers.
What a mass, eh? It's just really weird.
That's hard to stop.
Look at this, it's snapped twice. Snapped twice, and there's no antler marks on it. Whatever, it is what it is. This little group of trees looks like they're all just grabbed together. These ones right here. Look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them in a bouquet.
In a roughly 50-foot square section, the forest was crushed and destroyed, as if something massive charged through and vanished. The area was left completely wrecked, damaged in a way that made no sense. Whatever moved through left no obvious tracks, but the destruction said enough. The sight was deeply unsettling, impossible to ignore, leaving the feeling that something strange had passed through. The timber looked ripped apart as if pure force had pushed through. Bark was stripped away in deep, rough sections.
I don't know, another week and a bit, I'm really going to start picking up. I'll probably be hunting every single day in the mountains. I'm going to explain to you guys and show you guys the video I took on that last trip. Not the hunting videos, the moose videos. But explain to everybody how when you are in the woods hunting.
The scene showed violent energy, suggesting something incredibly huge, yet hidden. He knew this was not a normal animal or person.
But that little branch I balanced in there to keep it on an angle when it was spun around, if it was done by antlers. Whatever, it wasn't done by a bear, there's no teeth marks on it, nothing to lose sleep about, right? So I moved the camera, and then we went on a big, long, deep timber hunt not too far from the Peace River.
The damage was old, but the tall grass revealed the extreme scale of the event. A massive tree had been violently pulled from the ground. Its top 16 feet were snapped off and thrown over 40 feet across the trail.
And then we carried on, went down the trail, got to where the trail camera was. I put a stick behind it all the time. It was spun right around, about a quarter of the way around the tree to face the next tree beside it. We were the only ones in there since the camera had been set. Well, that sucks. You know, there was 2 or 3 videos of myself on there.
This extreme destruction points to an unbelievable raw force that feels completely unnatural, leaving the forest shaken. When entire trees are snapped like small twigs and heavy logs are thrown like baseballs without a single visible footprint left behind, it really makes you stop and think. What kind of hidden giant could be powerful enough to cause all this destruction and then simply vanish? These photographs were captured by Arkady Tishkov. Based on what appeared in the images, the photographer estimated the figure to stand about 1.4 meters tall, roughly 4 feet 7 inches. Together with the original photographs, another set of images was later shared, featuring interpretive drawings created from the same material. The images quickly sparked debate. Some people believed the shape was simply a natural rock formation, while others connected it to older theories, including the so-called horned yeti. Despite all the discussion, the images remain unverified, and no physical evidence has ever been confirmed to support the claim. When a single image can be interpreted in different ways, people often notice what they already expect to see. Without stronger evidence, reaching a clear conclusion becomes much harder. So, what do you think these photos actually reveal? A group of friends were preparing a campsite in a remote forest when the camera suddenly captured movement between the trees.
I don't see anything.
Look at the size of that thing!
A tall, dark figure appeared among the trunks, walking upright. Its height and thick body hair did not resemble any known animal. Surprised by what they had just seen and recorded, the group quickly rushed back to their vehicle. When camping in isolated forests, staying aware and leaving early can make a huge difference. So if you were there, would you stay and investigate or leave immediately? During a snowstorm in Arizona, a woman named Rose recorded video footage from inside her car while driving near White River above Roberts Ranch.
What the heck was that?
The recording captured loud, unfamiliar sounds coming from somewhere outside the vehicle. The noises continued as she drove through a remote section of road near the White River. They stayed clearly audible in the footage, despite strong wind and passing traffic. This area has had similar reports of unusual sounds and strange sightings, but no confirmed explanation has ever been found. In severe weather, sound can travel in unexpected ways and seem much closer than it really is. So, what do you think she was actually hearing out there? This Old Forest video from Big Q seems reckless at first, but the truly disturbing detail is not the fire. It is the figure no one noticed until later, the kind of shape some viewers might associate with Bigfoot stories. Uploaded on May 18, 2008, the video shows a group of teenagers spending time in the woods. They had built a campfire and were looking at bottles of alcohol when they came up with a dangerous idea, tossing one of the bottles into the flames to see what would happen. It was already a reckless thing to do, especially in a wooded area. But somehow, that is not the most unsettling part of the footage.
No, it shoots up.
Okay, put it in, my phone's almost dead.
It's hot, perfect though. Hopefully I'm loosening it too much. It'll take a minute. It'll start.
Fire better not go out.
No! Don't you dare do that.
Suck, is it just leaking out the bottom?
Yeah.
Dang.
It's all probably. It's going. Got the
Oh, it
sleeves?
hasn't even blown up yet, has it?
No.
Did you put the lid on it? Oh! Yeah!
While the boys focus on the fire and wait for a reaction, something else appears in the background. Behind the flames, a figure can be seen standing up and walking away. None of them appear to notice it in the moment. Throwing objects into a campfire can become dangerous quickly, especially in the woods where sparks can spread before anyone reacts. But the strangest part is not only the fire, it is the figure standing behind it, unnoticed by everyone there. Maybe it was just another person nearby. Maybe it was something viewers would connect to Bigfoot. Or maybe something had been watching from the darkness. So, what do you think was behind the flames that night? Posted on April 5th, 2023, this footage starts with Foul Mitten, a YouTuber recognized for hunting, fishing, and other outdoor content. His videos normally stay far from anything strange or paranormal, but this upload was unusual. In the description, he says that unknown creatures had been disturbing their property. They had no idea what these creatures were, but one thing seemed certain: they did not appear harmless.
They're all over the damn place again tonight. I'm gonna keep walking towards it. Might actually get to capture something here. Son of a bitch. Alright, whatever you are, you need to leave. Stay out of this place. This is our home.
At one point, he tried warning the figure to leave, but it gave no reaction. When it remained there without moving away, he decided to prepare his gun.
This is our home. You need to leave. You leave now. I don't think it's going to come around for a little bit.
After giving several more warnings, he fired, and the figure finally took off. But the question still remained: what exactly was it? At first glance, it looked somewhat human, and some viewers might connect a shadowy figure like that to stories of Bigfoot. But there was still something about it that felt off. When something ignores warnings, stays close to a home, and its eyes reflect back through the darkness, it becomes hard to ignore completely. So, what do you think Foul Mitten encountered that night? That's it for tonight. Which moment creep? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story, share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.